And welcome back. We want to welcome to our studio Denice, Gary-Pandol. She's running for U.S. Senate as a representative from California, one of our two that will be representing us in Congress, in the legislature. And so welcome to the program.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
Now, you were running as a Republican.
Yes,
and
sir.
You are running a campaign, or are you going up and down the state, or what's going on here with your campaign? How's it been going?
So it's been going well. I've been up and down the state and everywhere in between, all the way up to Siskiyou County and down to San Diego. In fact, I'll be at the border next week.
Okay.
And I've been on a mission to actually help people understand how we can make our state affordable again.
Okay. Now, real quick before we do that, what is your background? Where did you get the idea? I think I want to run for Senate, and you have political science background.
So my advanced degrees are political science, international relations, with a core field of study in the Middle East.
Okay.
And while I was working my way through graduate school, an opportunity fell in my lap to have top secret clearances and work at a think tank that specialized on national security issues on behalf of the people of America. And of course, California, you know, has over 30 military bases, and and this is a very important state.
We share a border with Mexico, and
Canada.
We have international commerce coming into our ports, so it's obviously it's a big hub for a lot of those kinds of things.
That's right. And in terms of energy and our food supply, you know, California provides over 500 commodities. We feed the nation and we feed the world.
Right, yeah.
And when I was considering the fact that, you know, people on the other side, you know, the Democrats have turned off our water, and, you know, farmers are telling me we're plowing under our food crops. Ranchers are selling their cattle. And I'm thinking whoever controls the water supply, controls the food supply, controls the population. And we absolutely have to look at the fact that the taxpayers of California spent over $30 billion for water infrastructure. And that's over the last 25 years, and we haven't built any water infrastructure since the 1980s.
Right.
So if we want to have food, we've got to have water infrastructure.
When I drive through Bakersfield and the Owens Valley, kind of I see the signs, you know, man-made water crisis, and Newsom, there's signs up there.
Man-made water crisis.
And I used to see them before the previous governor before that. It's been going on for a long time.
Right.
And that's a major grievance. The other side would say there's only so much water. We can't shut off our rivers and those kinds of things. So what do you make to the argument
if we just took care of 5% of the Sierra Nevada snow cap, if we just stored 5% of the Sierra Nevada snow cap, we'd have more than enough water. The Israelis have come up with a thing called fog capture systems, pulls the moisture right out of the air, provides pure, clean drinking water. If we just allowed farmers and ranchers to have some rainwater capture systems, if we just built more dams, there's so much we could do, and there's the money to do it.
There seems to be a vast inefficiency, most certainly, when we drive through. You see these open water lakes and everything, and that's probably the least effective way to store water.
So the Israelis have invented mobile reclamation units. So if there's flooding, we can reclaim that water and provide it for our farmers and ranchers. We can make food affordable again. This is a pocketbook issue. Yeah. It's a national security issue because you have to be able to feed the people of your country, and you have to be able to feed your military. When China buys up our farmland in America, and as your U.S. Senator, I want to get legislation passed to make it illegal for foreign governments and foreign entities to buy up land in our country and in California. Because they're taking that food, sir, and they're sending it back to their home country, and they're actually storing it for their military as well as their population. But
one second though. But there are going to be other farmers who say, hey, exports are one of our biggest revenue sources. So
yes, and we can export it, but we don't want them buying farmland.
Right. Okay. So
and
really
then
the control
taking
of
the
land.
harvest and sending it overseas and denying our population that food supply, which is what is happening with foreign entities that are buying up our farmland. So we need to get legislation to protect our farmland passed. I'm the only candidate that's talking about that, by the way.
One more quick question before I know we got a couple of them I want to talk about.
Yes.
Did California make a good decision in terms of approving the regulations for potable water reuse and those kinds of things, the toilet to tap as we speak? In terms of water conservation and being able to
We need to deregulate water industry. It's overregulated, and it's costing the taxpayers a tremendous amount of money. Do people realize that when a farmer or a rancher has to truck in water, it's costing a tremendous amount of money to grow food and considering how much meat people eat, I mean, livestock is expensive and they have to be watered. So when you overregulate an industry, you want it clean, you want it safe, and I support that, of course.
Sure.
Of course I do.
Okay, so in terms of potable water, I'm just saying, because it seems as though if you take that as one of the levers, there's only so much to go around, as one of the levers of like, hey, the cities aren't needing as much because they're using the potable water systems, then we have at least a possibility of helping out the farmers.
But what I'm trying to say is we have an abundance of water. If we just save 5% of the Sierra Nevada snowcap, if we just built some more dams, if we had off-stream reservoirs, if we had rainwater capture systems, fog capture systems, desal, all this regulation would be unnecessary. We don't need more bureaucracy controlling our lives in the state of California nationwide. FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, just destroyed 4 dams in Siskiyou County. I was up there, destroyed the fishing industry. It destroyed the fish that inhabited those dams, and of course it drove up the price of fish. We've got to deregulate the economy, and one of the things I want to do as your U.S. Senator is overturn NEPA, the National Environmental Policy Act. We've got enough of what we need in California in terms of water. We just need to manage it right. Can we talk about energy for a moment?
Well, that's what I was asking. My next topic was going to be energy efficiency, because we're running out of time.
Yes.
You want to talk about energy independence for the United States. So,
California used to be the #1 exporter of oil and gas, right? And the oil companies now have a thing called CCUS, carbon capture, utilization, and sequestration. We can capture carbon emissions. It can be so clean today. Also, we produce it more cleanly than any other country. And our military runs on it. The United States military depends 80% on oil, gas, and coal.
Absolutely.
We absolutely have to have it. The coal industry is so clean. Nuclear is so clean and so safe and so easy to produce. It's clean, it's cheap, and it's safe. Oil, gas, and coal is so clean, it's so safe, and we can do it. We have to protect and expand oil, gas, and coal, not only for the United States military, because we have to message to the international community. We are militarily prepared because we have the energy resources we need to fund or take care of the military. It's an environmental issue because it's so clean. It's a pocketbook issue because I want every person in the state of California to be able to afford to put gasoline in their car, but also buy food, also buy medicine. We have to make this state affordable again. We have to make it a pro-business, business-friendly state. And one way we can do that is to have an abundance of oil, gas, and coal. We can make that happen by protecting and expanding it because it's so clean, it's so environmentally safe, and because we need to have it for military preparedness. I want to tell your audience something real quick.
Okay, real quick.
Our allies, if we were taking care of our allies, they wouldn't be buying it from Russia, and there wouldn't be genocide going on in Ukraine. If we were taking care of all of our allies and supplying it to the international community, Iran wouldn't be selling it to China, and China wouldn't be enriching Iran, and they wouldn't be able to sponsor Islamic terrorism around the Middle East and against Americans in Iraq and Syria. When you're energy dominant, you can make this world a more peaceful, safer world for everyone. And of course, we want peace in the world, and part of that is military preparedness and being energy dominant.
The U.S. is already one of the top oil producers in the world, and so I don't know that that's 100% the cure-all. But I do want to get to
inflation.
I do want to talk one thing. The polls say that you are most certainly a long shot. So
yes, I know.
And I know
David was a long shot when he fought Goliath, but he brought Goliath down.
So is your campaign about this messaging, or do you feel like you're going to have this Rudy moment, you're going to be carried off the field, and you somehow did it beyond all odds?
Yes, that's it. I just think that the messaging is so important because I'm the only one that's had top secret clearances and understands national security and understands that we need to be prepared because when you're prepared, it messages the whole world, don't touch us. and that promotes peace and stability globally. I also think medicines, you know, we just are not a business-friendly state. We have shortages of chemotherapy and antibiotics. You know, we've got to deregulate the economy so that small businesses, the economic engine of America, has a chance to survive and grow in California. Medicines is an important issue. School choice, you know,
well, we're gonna have to leave it there, Denice.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it.
Denice Gary-Pandol running for U.S. Senate.
GoPandol.com and make a contribution. We need your help.
There's the last word there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back with the folks from the Publishing Club. Stay with us.